Hey guys! So today I am doing the Totally Should've book tag. And this book tag was created by Emma Books, and I'll put her link down below to the video she made. And it was inspired by the Totally Didn't book tag, I think it's what it's called, and I'll put the original of that video down below as well. I wasn't technically tagged, but she said anybody who wanted to do the tag was tagged, so I'm doing it. And I'm super excited, so let us get started. And the first one is Totally Should Have Had a Sequel. And I am picking Black Chalk by Christopher J. Yates because this book needs a sequel. Like, I need to know what happens in this book. And there's no like real resolution to the ending of this book. If you have not heard about this book, I have a review on it, which I will also link down below, so check that out. But this book definitely needs a sequel. Who knows? He might actually be writing one. Like, this book literally came out like a few months ago, so there might be a sequel in the works. If not, Christopher, come on, please make a sequel. So the next one is Totally Should Have Had a spin-off series, and I am doing The Sight by David Clement Davies. And this book was really good. I've read this one, like, it's been years and years since I've read it, and I'm not too familiar about what it's about, but I do remember really enjoying it, and I love the world. And it's basically about a pack of wolves, and there's like a chosen wolf, and it basically determines like the course of the world, and it's kind of about like a battle between good and evil. So I think this would make a really good spin-off series, even though this is not a series, it's just a standalone book, but I really just wanted more of this world, so that's why I thought it would be a good spin-off series. An author who should totally write more books is Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian, and this is just because I love this book. I thought his writing was really interesting, and I think he does a really good job of writing about like very scientific and nerdy topics, so I'd love to see more of his work, and he should definitely keep on writing. A character who should have totally ended up with someone else. This one was a little difficult for me because I am not a big fan of love triangles, I guess, and I just don't really enjoy reading them. But if I'd have to go with one, I'd go with Twilight because I'm totally a big Jacob fan, even though I'm really not a big fan of the books. I just think Jacob was a totally better option, and I know people are probably going to hate me for this, but the second book was actually my favorite in the entire series, and I loved it because you get to know more about Jacob's world, more about the werewolves, and that whole, like, I guess, group. I don't know what you call them, the gang, the werewolf pack, I guess. And it was just really interesting, and Jacob totally should have won, and I think he's awesome, and yeah, go Team Jacob. And number 5 is Totally Should Have Had a Different Ending, and I picked Find Me by Laura Vandenberg. I just finished this book, and it is in my December wrap-up, which I'll link down below. And I just thought the ending of this book was really weird. It didn't really go anywhere, and I think she could have ended it in a lot of different ways, and I really was hoping for something different. So yeah, I love the writing, but come on, I needed a better ending. So numbers 6 and 7, Totally Should Have Had a Movie Franchise and Totally Should Have Had a TV show, were a little difficult for me because the books that I choose for the movie franchise is like a really long series, and I think it would be really good for a movie, and the book that I chose for a TV series is actually really short. But anyway, let's get on. So the book that I chose that should totally have a movie series is The Belgrath by David Eddings, and this is a like sorcery kind of it's kind of like a mix between Lord of the Rings and the Game of Thrones, and it's very magical, you know, the chosen one type of trope. And it's just a really epic story, and I love all the characters, and I think it's an amazing book, and I don't know why it has not been made into a movie. Like, can someone please tell me why this book has not been made into a movie? It would be perfect. So please, someone make this into a movie. Thank you. So the book that I chose for the TV series is actually a standalone book, but it's called Transmission by Hari Kanzuru. And this book is amazing. Not a lot of people have heard about this book, but it's basically about a guy who like sends out a virus to all these computers, and it's basically a book about how it affects all the different people and where the virus reaches. It's really interesting, and I think it would be really good for a TV series. Obviously, it would have to be padded a little bit because it is just like a 500-page, oh, it's not even 500 pages. It's literally like a 300-page book. But I think it's just really good. I think it would be really good content for a TV show, and I would definitely watch it. So, anyone in the market for making a new TV show, Transmission It's a good one. Yeah. Number 8 is Totally Should Have Had One Point of View. And for this one, I'm picking the Inheritance series by Christopher Paolini. And this is the first book, which actually only has one point of view. But once you get into the second book in the series, it starts going with 2 points of view. And I really think this book should have stayed with 1 point of view. I absolutely loved the first book, but the rest of the series was not horrible, but I think it really lacked because it was so, like, it was just a lot of padding, and it should have been a lot shorter than it was. And I think that's also because he was writing from like 5 different perspectives by the end of the series. So I get why some of it was necessary, but I think if you would have just stuck with the main character in this book, it could have been a lot better. Number 9 is Totally Should Have Had a Cover Change. And this one was really hard for me. I don't really have a lot of books that have ugly covers because I tend to buy books because of their covers. But for this one, I picked Ghost Written by David Mitchell just because the cover is, I mean, it's just a simple cover. It doesn't really have to do anything with the book. And I think there are a lot of different options they could have done for this one. And I just would have liked to see something more creative. And yeah, it's just not, I mean, it's not a particularly ugly color. It's just not very attractive either. So yeah, that's why I picked it. Number 10, Totally Should Have Kept the Original Cover. And for this one, I am doing The Museum of Extraordinary Things by Alice Hoffman. And technically, this is not a cover change. I guess it is, but the paperback version is a different cover than the hardcover. And I really like this version better. I will put the paperback version right here for you guys so you can see it. And I think this one's a lot more interesting and intriguing, though it is kind of a little misleading, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to spoil the book. But, like, I just think this one was a lot more eye-catching than the paperback version. So, yeah. Don't think this one should have had a cover change. And last but not least, number 11, Totally Should Have Ended with the First Book. And for this one, I am choosing The City of Ember by Jeanne Duprat. And I hope I am pronouncing her name right. But I don't know if you guys have read this book. I read it like years and years ago when I was really young, and I absolutely loved the setting of this book, and the storyline was really great, but the next 2 books really suck. I haven't even finished the series. Like, I started the second book and got about 100 pages in, and I was like, no, I'm not finishing this. So that's why I think this one should have just ended, though I would have liked to see more of this series. Like, I guess I would have liked there to be a series, but the series that she gave us was not very good, and I didn't like it, so I would have just liked it to end at the City of Ember and have my pleasant little story, and I would have been happy. But yeah, I just, and this copy has really been destroyed. But yeah, City of Ember, good first book. Second book, not so great. Haven't even read the third one. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm going to tag Katie from Katie Loves to Read, Jen from Jen Huds Books, and Cherie Lampley. I hope I said your last name right. Yeah, so, and if anyone else wants to do this tag, please, I tag you, go and do it. And I hope you have fun. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. And it's just, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I know a lot of people enjoyed this book, and I know I'm probably going to upset a lot of people that I did not enjoy this book. But, I mean, eventually I will come back to this one.